Hi, this is Heather DeRome from heatherderome.com and from the Sonatas and Partitas.com. This is a video about the G-minor Fugue. It's the fourth of 4 videos, the fugue from the first sonata BWV 1001. So there are a few interesting issues in the coda of this fugue. It starts at measure 88, right after Bach has his big arrival back home. There are 8 measures of coda. Now, what Bach does in the violin version in this coda is pretty typical for coda material. He just has a pedal. But when we made our arrangements, we looked at all the different versions, and the lute version and the organ version and violin version are all different in those 2 measures. And what the lute version has imitates what Bach has in measures 44 and 45 with his bass rhythm. So that's what he's got. So Bach for the bass here has. So the lute version has like that. And the problem that brings it is then when it gets to measure 88, we suddenly have a second inversion chord that's ungrammatical. Now, if you read our performance notes in our edition, you look at footnote number 35. There's like a very quick lowdown on how second inversion chords were used, and this one goes against that practice. So it's interesting that it was done during those days. It kind of shows me that on some level it was okay not to be perfect when you're making arrangements. But anyway, it is a problem. And then the other problem that there is with the lute version is then on the 3rd and 4th beat, he has, so instead of having half, quarter, quarter, half, he has half, quarter, rest, half. So that rest, I always kind of want to hear another bass note there. And I think other guitarists do also, because I've heard guitarists play and then put a G here. But then the problem with that is, like, for example, when it happens here, we have, and you can hear over the bar line, there's like this sense of expectation and a sense of landing. But if you just have a G over the bar line and then G again, it kind of negates that. So what the organ version has is it's actually a very similar rhythm, but what they do is the 2 quarter notes at the end of the beat are part of the tenor voice. So these bass notes are in the tenor voice. And then at the next measure, got a great harmony here. So he doesn't have G down there. And then, so he keeps Bach's pedal. And so that is similar to one of our choices. I think it's in our Ossia, is that we've got the G pedal in the bass, and then we have those other tenor notes on the 3rd and 4th beats. So another thing I want to address in this coda is this fingering. I think it's one of Frank's many moments of brilliance. When I've given this to my students, most of them have found it kind of difficult to do because you're trained to use your hand like this. But if you prepare everything, so you land here and your 3rd finger is there, not here, so you don't have to shift to get that note, it's right there. And then here, again, you don't have to shift because your 2nd finger's there. You can get this finger very, very smoothly. And then for this ornament, what you don't want is to suddenly sound like you're in the middle of a Giuliani etude. You want to have that note come out once on the beat and at the end. So you could, there are a lot of choices you could do within that. You go P-M-I, P-I-M, P-I-M-A. That one's pretty easy to do and it works well. Or you could go P-I-M, P-I-M, P-I-M-A. What I did in my recording was I went P-I-M-A, and then on the top strings, P-A-M-I, and then back on the middle strings, P-I-M, P-I-M-A. And that worked. I'm pretty sure some people would disagree with it because there's an A that comes above the F sharp. If you're not used to hearing it, it jumps out at you. But it was a type of thing that was done back then. You could have a note above the main note as long as the main note lands on the beat. Now for this fingering, again, when I have students who have troubles with it, what I ask them is, when are you using your second finger and when are you using your third finger? Like, just tell me right now without actually trying it out. And usually, or always, they're not sure. So the first thing you have to do is know for sure. Here it's 1, 2, 4, and here it's 1, 3, 4, and then 2, 4, 2, 4. So you have this hand formation, this one, and that one. And the first step would be to do that. And then when you're really sure about that, which takes about 10 seconds, then to practice it, don't take big swings at the slurs. Practice it like that a few times, and then you can practice moving the like little shift in with it, like that, like that, and then eventually you'll be able like that. So that should help. As always, let us know what you think at sonatasandpartitas.com.